There may be varying beliefs depending on the Christian school of thought on whether or not some of these are literal or symbolic creatures. In any case, here are 10 surprising monsters and beings in Christianity. Hey guys, Leroy Kenton here, and you're watching FTD Facts. Now, we're exploring one aspect of the religion of Christianity in this episode, so it's a very fascinating and interesting episode, so let's just jump right into it. Starting at number 10, the first type of being is the Nephilim. So the giants or Nephilim are believed to be half angels and half man, etc. And now they were mentioned in Genesis chapter 6 verses 4, but also in different parts of the Bible as well. Now, one of the popular beliefs is that Nephilim were just considered to be very large, tall people, and also many people believe that no, they were angels that actually had intercourse with humans and gave birth to this offspring, and they were big, half angel, half human type beings. Nephilim also show up in the book of Numbers chapter 13 verse 33, and it says, "And there we saw the Nephilim, the sons of Anak, who come from the Nephilim. And we seemed to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them." Next up is the Cherubim. So in the Bible, they are not these cute cuddly winged creatures like they're sometimes represented as. The cherub or cherubim in the plural form are a type of heavenly creature that show up several times in the Bible. So in the book of Genesis, you see that there are two cherub that were sent to guard the entrance to the Garden of Eden after Adam and Eve were kicked out. They also appear in the book of Ezekiel as creatures with 4 wings and 4 faces. They have the face of a lion, the face of an eagle, the face of an ox, as well as the face of a human. Now, ancient Israel also incorporated cherubim in the design of the lid of the Ark of the Covenant, and they're also believed to be creatures who travel very fast and very powerful, and they also help to carry the throne of God in heaven. Number 8 brings us to Seraphim. Seraph is the singular, Seraphim is the plural. And in the book of Isaiah chapter 6, this is the only passage in the Bible that specifically mentions the word seraph, meaning the fiery ones. Now, the term also is translated as fiery serpent or fiery dragon. The prophet Isaiah describes seeing them in his vision of God in heaven. He sees God on the throne, and he's surrounded by these flying angels called seraphim, and that's found in Isaiah chapter 6 verses 1 and 2. In the Bible, these creatures also have 6 wings, unlike the cherubim that have 4 wings. Now, for number 7, I'm going to be grouping some of the beasts together that Daniel sees in his visions. So like the book of Revelation, the book of Daniel is made up largely of visions that are meant to symbolize real world events. And in one of these visions recorded in the book of Daniel, the prophet Daniel sees 4 creatures. Now, one is like a lion with eagle's wings, one of them is a bear-like creature, and the other one looks like a leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads, and then the final one is like a dragon with iron teeth and 10 horns, and this creature goes around to destroy the whole earth. Now, the creatures in this vision have been interpreted to also symbolize different world empires like the Babylon, the Medes and the Persians, as well as the Greeks and the Romans. There's a whole world of belief surrounding these creatures, but yeah, I'll probably save that for another episode. Let's move on now to number 6, where we see Behemoth. In the book of Job, one of the Bible's oldest book, this book is actually believed to be written before the book of Genesis, the Behemoth is mentioned, and it's described as a gigantic, powerful creature, and only God can put this creature under submission. His tail is so large that it's compared to a cedar tree, and this description led many people who believe in creation to claim that the Behemoth is in fact a biblical era dinosaur. However, other beliefs is that the term Behemoth just refers to a large creature. Some of those creatures may be large animals like a hippopotamus maybe. And then there's Leviathan coming in at number 5. So this is the second great monster that's described in the book of Job. Leviathan, instead of being a land animal, is a giant sea creature, and apparently this creature breathes fire as well. Leviathan can also be found in other myth stories. However, in the Bible though, Leviathan is believed to just represent large water creatures in general, and it's never specified in this Bible what creature is represented with the term Leviathan. So it's kind of leaving us wondering, was Leviathan a type of water creature that used to exist, that's extinct, or maybe it's still out there? Now let's take a look at the first beast of Revelation. So definitely the book of Revelation has a ton of creatures mentioned, but not everybody can agree whether or not these descriptions are actually literal, of future events, past events, or whatever they stand for. No biblical scholar fully agrees on what this actually means. Nevertheless, we have the term the first beast of Revelation, and it's called that because it's mentioned first, and it's a monster with 7 heads and 10 horns, and it rises up out of the ocean, and it also has the feet of a bear, the mouth of a lion, and it looks like a leopard. And depending on the theologian or the Bible scholar that has interpreted this symbol, you may get them saying that this represents the papacy or the 1st century Roman Emperor Nero, among other interpretations. And then if there's the first beast, then there's the second beast of Revelation. Now this beast rises up out of the earth, unlike the first beast that comes up out of the ocean. And now it has 2 horns and speaks like a dragon. And this beast performs false miracles that encourage people to actually go and worship the first beast, and it also allows the first beast to kill anyone who doesn't worship it. Yeah, so definitely this has been interpreted to mean various different things. Some interpreters even said that this refers to the Prophet Muhammad, and others have even said that this actually represents the United States of America. The dragon / the devil is up next, and this is another beast mentioned in Revelation, the great dragon, and he's described as having 7 heads and 10 horns, and he also has a tail that sweeps out 1/3 of the stars out of the sky. However, the disciple John, who wrote Revelation, does identify that this dragon symbolizes Satan himself, who fights against God's angels, and he's cast out into hell, and he takes 1/3 of the angels with him, and angels are represented by the stars that the dragon's tail brings down from heaven. In the Bible, the devil is also referred to as Satan, and he's depicted as an angel who once lived in heaven and rebelled against God. He got very, very prideful and was like, I'm gonna rise up, I'm gonna be the boss, I'm gonna do it better than God. And God was like, nah. And finally, number 1, we have the locusts with human faces. Okay, so I put these guys at number 1 because to me they are probably the one creature mentioned in the Bible that I'm literally praying are symbolic of something else and not actual locusts with humans' faces, because how they're described is just straight up creepy. So the passage goes like this: Then from the smoke came locusts on the earth, and they were given power like the power of scorpions of the earth, and they were allowed to torment them for 5 months, but not to kill them. And their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it stings someone. In appearance, the locusts were like horses prepared for battle, and their heads were what looked like crowns of gold, and their faces were like human faces, and that's found in Revelation chapter 9 verses 3 to 10. Also, the book of Revelation talks about 10 plagues, and these locusts are given 5 months to torment people, and they'll also destroy all of the plants in sight. And I mean, they're given tails like scorpions to sting people. Yeah, really hoping that one is symbolic. Alright guys, so that does it for this episode of 10 surprising monsters and beings in Christianity. And if you have any other beliefs about the creatures and beings that I mentioned in this episode, definitely share them down below. I'm curious to find out what some of you guys believe out there. Now before you guys head out, here's another video that I recommend for you. Just tap the annotation right beside my head. It'll take you straight to that episode. And also my social media links are below in the video description section, so you can follow me, shoot me a message over there, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as possible. And also hit that subscribe button and ring that bell if you haven't done so already to join the FTD Facts family and keep up to date with our latest episodes.